shit, fire, man. Forgot to put that up there. Hi, you guys. What's going on? Hello, hello. Well, I'm over here on an atheist channel trying to find out what makes them click. All right. Well, it just so happens that, I think these atheists have more of a hold on our Bible than many people, including some preachers, because they're willing to argue its points by saying that this isn't right, that this shows something else. This is not God speaking here. And so one of the things that they can't hit on, and this is what we're going to talk about today, is you got to remember about this one woman from Canaan, that she had a daughter that was in some kind of she was ill or something. So she gained some kind of access to Jesus, and she asked if he would. What is that? Ooh, hair. It says if he would heal her daughter, and he said something about not being able. He says, "Well, I can't take bread away from children to give to dogs," and he was like, so. Wow, that's a very, very kind of mean thing to say, get the hell out of here is what he's saying, But what they would say is that she then had to stoop to his level in order to, even the dogs can get the crumbs from the master's table. And this is, this melted Jesus' heart. Oh, your faith is so true. So, and then the miracle happens. The daughter is healed. You have to understand that the idea of dog, he comes for the lost children. All these stories are about someone who is out of the flock and disconnected. It's all these stories. It's the basis of coming and finding those that were lost and connecting them back to the clan. But you'll know that all through the Bible, everyone comes onto this earth already disconnected from this place, from God. So it's when she's looking at the people that are the outside of us. This is the idea of taking bread from the dogs is taking the bread from the children. I'm here for the children of Israel. And so you would think that meant he's only here for those people, but that's not that. The Jew is what it means to be, a Jew is a descendant from Israel. And a Jew is someone like you and me that goes and meditates, and we serve our God. We serve God through what's inside of us, through the works. We use that to meditate and to connect and commune with the Lord. That's what we do. So Jesus is not going to be caught up in this mind game that you and I or people on earth here that, only his chosen ones are only the ones. These Jewish people on the face of the earth are not the chosen ones. The elect and things of people that have gone inside and served God from the inside and connected to them. And that's what that is all about. And so this story really is just kind of driving that home, that I'm not here to take care of what is outside, but this idea of that's where he gets us from. So this idea is, hey, I need your help. Would you? This is this idea. And so when she got down on her knees and was going and brought herself to his level, okay, well, even the dogs can get the crumbs from the master's table. That's not what it means. All of these stories have got people being brought to the end of their lives, literally. Even, but let's just talk. We're going to talk about my favorite, Christopher, Saint Christopher. That is a story that represents the number 4 as he goes from serving the king and then serving the devil, which is the second or the north. I'm always getting stopped on this, but that's our emotions. All right. And then the next one was after he left the emotions, the third represents the south, our bodies, the works. So he then goes and runs and runs and I mean, it's a long quest before he finally makes it to that little house out in the middle of the woods. Now he falls on his face. And when he wakes up, he's got some guy tending to him, taking care of him. And he stands up and he shows he's got this giant sword. And he's big, he's a giant, he's ready to serve God. He's looking for, I'm ready, you know. And the guy says, that ain't gonna work. You're gonna have to get rid of that sword, you know. And he says, what do you want to do? He says, I want to serve the Lord. What can I do for him? He says, well, sit over there and meditate some. Go and learn about meditation. This is the Buddhist concept. He says, oh, come on. What? Let me do something else. So anyway, he says, okay, well, you can drag people back and forth across this river. That'll be serving the Lord. And he says, will I ever get to see him? Maybe. I don't know. You never know how it's going to work. So, you know, he's doing this for ages and ages and ages. And he begins to slip. And he finds that, he's scared for a moment. He says, where'd that come from? Because he's never been afraid, never been scared, been very strong doing his job day in and day out all this time. Hell, he came from one kingdom all the way to this place. And he's still stuck here on the 6th chakra. That's where this house is. All right. So while he is doing his works, he's not allowed over on the 7th side. He's not. So, you know, he's not connected to this. It's the same stories. You guys, it's just beautiful how it all works out. But what happens is one day he gets a call or a knock and he has to go and serve him. This would be like, you know, Cinderella waking up and then going pouring water for her, for a prince and his servant. All right, it's setting up for the two. That's the way it is, you know. But what he winds up is with Jesus walking up his back. This little child is getting heavier and heavier. He's gonna make it happen. As he goes across this water, this child is crawling up his back because the water level is getting deeper and deeper and the wind is blowing. So, you know, they're on their way someplace. And about in the midst of the river, does he slip and is afraid for the child's life, not just his. The way the story goes is he felt more for the burden that he was carrying. And so he hollers out, God, save me. And from that moment, he gets this energy to make it across to the other side. And he looks at this little kid and he said, damn kid, you about killed me. And the kid looks up at him and smiles. And it's like, oh, I get it now. I get it now. So you had to be brought to nothing. And even Moses was the meekest man on earth. Yeah, you have to bow. You have to give up. You have to say, I give up. I've had enough. Now, if your ego can't handle that, if you cannot, then you'll understand the parable that it's harder or it'll be easier for a camel to make it through the eye of the needle than a rich man. All right? That's just the point of it. You have to be without, and you have to, you know, it has to pain you to get to this place. And this morning I've been listening to people talking about their pineal gland, and some guy who just does news is giving us advice on a pineal gland. You know, he says, I've been waiting to do this for so long. I wanted to teach people because, you know, this is something that is very close to my heart. you know, and then the list of things. He's got a little chalkboard like me, you know, and it's like, you know, don't go around EMF places, you know, they're going to interfere, perhaps, you know. But they're talking about taking psychedelics or taking certain things and drugs, doing outside things, trying to get this pineal gland to come alive, you know. And we do know that it's under attack. It's being calcified, you know, with fluoride and all these things. This is the outside environment's coming after you. So this is the outside waging war against your ability to connect to God. So the outside does not want you to do this, and without you knowing, you're being drugged and prodded and you know, electrical interferences and stuff like that. Well, I'm proof positive that it does not work like that. None of that works like that. And no one has any memory of these things that happen on. The only thing that you have is you, your body, and your soul, because you guys are the ones that benefit from this. And because you sat down and you followed the way and you connected mother and father. And you know how you do that? By following the rules correctly, by doing it right. There's only one way, and there's no other way. So I've been listening to David Wilcox. You know, these guys are all talking about the pineal gland and like, well, maybe it's like this, or it could do that, and perhaps it's this way, and who knows about that? That's not giving you. That's not telling you how it works. It's still good. And they mentioned the idea. You know, I get this idea. They know about Revelations as being this place that, you know, that you can open up your mind, you know, but they're looking at it as going to happen to the whole world. So they never, theirs isn't open. You would know that it's only an individual thing. The God, Jesus, he's still saying Jesus exists and stuff. That's how you know. That's how you know if someone's real or not, because because you have to understand that this character Jesus, if he died, if he was killed, well, it makes a lot out. It doesn't make much out of the real God itself. All right. And, you know, he's telling us all along that he's inside of us and that this is an inside thing, and that his kingdom is not of the earth. You know, it's inside of us. You know, that's where all this is. We are the kingdom, all of us. You, me, and all of us are like little individual worlds all around in this universe. We're in control of this God if we want, or it can be in control of us. And that's the whole idea behind this Father, follow around with Father. That means that Father is in control of us and we get to do what we want. That's our skin and that's our material side. And it's hell, you know. But you have to get through that. You have to go through the well. You have to go through all that before you can, you know, make it over to this other side. And till then, your mind is all about folly. It's all about things. What can we do? Things from the outside. Let's go and do some heavy-duty drugs and some, you know, to see if we can get that dopamine and all that crap or DMT and business in there. Let's go and take heaven for ourselves. Just storm it and make it. That's not how it works. And your mind won't open for you. You know, you just think that you know, and I've got my third eye open. No, it just won't give it to you. You know, you and whatever, you know, runs our lives. Remember, you think you run your life. There's something bigger and greater and all that. And it put a block right there. And this is the wall of Jericho. You know, you are not allowed over into that holy place. And yeah, until you run around it 7 times and boink, then that whole wall will fall down and let you in. But until then, no, you are not allowed in. All right. I'll chat with you later. Okay. And good morning. Good morning. Let's see how long it takes this 14-minute video of mine to upload into YouTube. It usually takes about 2.5 hours. I'm glad I have these 5 or 6 people that like to do this because, you know, you're worth my time.